Look, I get it. We all imagine being a Viking, sailing a long ship, magnificent beard, a glorious axe in hand, maybe a bit of casual pillaging. It sounds like the ultimate historical vacation, right? Well, let me save you the trip and the trauma. This is not a glorious saga, my friends. This is a 5-minute funeral for your historical dreams. By the time we're done, you'll be kissing your central heating and reliable dentistry goodnight. I'm talking about the truth of the Viking Age, and trust me, I know stuff. First, let's talk about life expectancy. If you made it to your early 40s, you were practically ancient, and your body was furious with you. Forget the dramatic battlefield wound, you're more likely to be felled by your teeth. Sugar was a rarity, but their diet was heavy on rough grains, ground by stone. Tiny bits of grit got into the flour, turning every meal into a dental filing session. Dental hygiene? They tried. They had toothpicks, but modern dentistry? You'd be chewing on a leather strap while someone attempted to pull out a molar with a rusty piece of iron. The pain would be exquisite. And if your teeth didn't get you, the smoke inhalation would. Your cozy, well-insulated longhouse? It was basically a giant windowless wooden barbecue. You had a fire pit in the middle for heat and cooking, and the smoke often had no efficient way to escape. You'd be breathing in particulate matter 24/7. Your lungs would look like a chimney after about 2 years. The irony is, you'd survive a sea battle only to cough yourself into an early grave back home. Skål! Enjoy the bronchitis. Now for the menu. You're thinking roasted boar, mead, glorious feasts. Mostly, you'd be eating a porridge of barley or oats, dried meat, and some root vegetables. The mead? Sure, if you were rich. Otherwise, it was beer, thin, watery, and often better than the water, which was likely teeming with microscopic horrors that would give you the 10th century equivalent of a week-long stomach flu. Viking hygiene is often debated. Yes, they did bathe regularly compared to some of their contemporaries, sometimes weekly, but regularly is a relative term. We're talking cold, communal tubs and soap made from animal fat and ash. It got you less filthy, but you were still sharing a bath with, let's call them, the microbial ecosystem of the entire village. And let's be honest, you, the modern human, would reek. Your immune system is spoiled. Every sneeze and every unwashed hand would introduce you to a new strain of pathogen that your pampered 21st century antibodies simply wouldn't recognize. The biggest killer of all? Other people. And the total lack of a modern legal system. If someone wronged you, say, killed your cousin or stole your favorite sheep, you didn't call the police. You had to seek justice yourself. This system was called the blood feud, and it was exactly as terrible as it sounds. If you killed the thief, his family was then honor-bound to kill one of your family members, and the cycle would repeat until an entire lineage was wiped out, or someone could afford a huge fine, called vergild. The closest thing to a court was the Thing, an assembly of free men who decided disputes. If you had a bad reputation or weren't very persuasive, tough luck. You'd probably be declared an outlaw, meaning anyone could kill you without penalty. Think of it as ancient, socially sanctioned hunting. Being an outlaw in the frozen north is not conducive to a long life. You wouldn't last a week. So let's tally up your survival odds. You're navigating constant lung irritation, painful dental infections, a diet that's mostly gruel, a cold, dark home, and the very real chance that your neighbor's angry uncle is waiting behind a bush to end your bloodline over a minor insult. The Viking life was brutal, short, and smelled suspiciously of wood smoke and fermented fish. The only things glorious about it were the stories they told to make it sound better than it was. So next time you fantasize about sailing the seas, do yourself a favor. Cue up a documentary, make a nice cup of tea, and be eternally grateful that you have access to both antibiotics and toothpaste. Trust me, I know stuff. And this stuff says, stay put.